Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. FPL Consult here. Now, Blank Gameweek 18 and Double Gameweek 20 is on the horizon for us FPL managers, and it is coming sooner than we expect. We are in Gameweek 13 now, and there's only 5 more game weeks until Gameweek 18, which will be a blank for Manchester City and Brentford. So the way we decide to navigate Blank Gameweek 18, whether we intend to free hit or not, is going to affect our transfers from here on out, from Gameweek 13 onwards. So I thought it'd be important for us to discuss these strategies in this video, and hopefully you guys will find it useful for your planning in coming game weeks as well. So if you guys do enjoy this video, please give it a like and also subscribe as well if you are new around here. Now, just before we jump into the video, I did launch our Christmas charity drive, which is on the signage above me here, and basically I will be donating 20 pence per new subscriber from now till Christmas to UNICEF. Now, the response to the charity drive has been absolutely immense, and we've already raised £25 for UNICEF. So just to touch on a little bit as to why I chose UNICEF to be the charity of choice, it is because there's loads of conflicts going on in the world right now, and I want to do our part to help those in need, all those who are affected by the wars going on right now. UNICEF is providing direct humanitarian aid to all those in need, whether it's food, shelter, etc. And all this would go to a good cause. So I will be donating 20 pence per new subscriber from now to Christmas. All you have to do is hit that subscribe button, and I will be donating more money to charity as well. So all for a good cause. Do hit that button, and thank you everyone for all the support so far. So touching on Blank Game Week 18 and Double Game Week 20 before we go into the different strategies, this tweet right here is from Ben Krellin. Of course, we already know by now he is the fixture master when it comes to Premier League fixtures. So if you aren't already following him on Twitter, it is at Ben Krellin. Do drop him a follow. And basically, he says that Man City versus Brentford is a blank in Game Week 18. Now, we already knew this, and this is because Man City is involved in the Club World Cup around that period of time. So, they will blank in Game Week 18, and both teams are out of the EFL Cup as well. So, Ben Krellin therefore concluded that he's pretty sure Man City versus Brentford will move to one of those 3 game weeks that he listed, which is Game Week 10, Game Week 20, and Game Week 21. Now, of course, Game Week 10 has already passed, and Man City versus Brentford was not rescheduled till then. So that only leaves 2 game weeks, Game Week 20 and Game Week 21. And Ben already caveat that Man City versus Brentford is most likely to move to the free midweek in Game Week 20 in his opinion. So that would give Man City a double of Sheffield plus Brentford at home, both at home, and Brentford would double with Crystal Palace and Man City both away. So already alarm bells are ringing here, because Game Week 20 of a double with Sheffield at home and Brentford at home could be a triple captain opportunity for Erling Haaland, right? So that aside, we're going to discuss and focus on Blank Game Week 18 first. Now that Man City and Brentford both blank, how are we going to navigate our transfers from now until Game Week 18 to deal with this blank game week? So the first strategy that I want to discuss to navigate Blank Game Week 18 is the no free hit strategy. Now, this is the one that I'm currently on at the moment, and there's a couple of reasons why I do like this strategy. Now, the first one is obviously that we get to save the free hit for later on in the season. Blank Game Week 18 only has one blank, where Manchester City and Brentford blank. There's only one fixture that's blanking. There will be game weeks later on in the season where there are 2 to 3 fixtures and total of 4 to 6 teams blanking, and those will be even harder to navigate, and that's when I think the free hit will be even more important. So obviously, by not free hitting now in Blank Game Week 18, it will allow me to save the free hit for later on as well. Now, of course, there are a couple of other reasons as well why I like this strategy, and that's because we already knew from the start of the season that Blank Game Week 18 was coming. There's so much time now to prepare for Blank Game Week 18. We are in Game Week 13 now. I'm recording this in Game Week 13, and basically we have up to 5 game weeks to navigate our transfers to deal with this blank for Man City players and Brentford players. So basically, with all this lead time, we will be well prepared for Blank Game Week 18. As opposed to later on in the season, where a lot of the blanks would come maybe 2 to 3 game weeks in advance, and we won't have enough time to prepare for that, then using the free hit then is even more worthwhile, right? So lastly, another reason why I like this strategy is that currently there are three main players that we want from Man City and Brentford, and those three are the obvious ones here: Haaland, Alvarez, and Mbeumo. I can't see many other players that you really want to go for aside from possibly Manchester City defenders. Maybe a Vardiol at 5 million, maybe a Kyle Walker, potentially a Brentford defender if you do consider their fixtures to be quite good moving forward from Game Week 14 onwards. But aside from these three popular players, Haaland, Alvarez, and Mbeumo, I don't really see where else we would go. And in that case, all three of them can be benched together with our bench for the keeper, and we can start all of our other 11 players, and basically we will be able to get through game week 18 with still a squad of 11 playing players. So it's completely possible, and that's also why I do like this strategy. Now, of course, this strategy does come with some downsides, and the first one most obviously is that, as I just mentioned, you cannot go for more than 3 of these players from Man City and Brentford leading up to game week 18 at least. So Haaland, Alvarez, Mbeumo, that's probably the maximum that you can go for. If you don't want Alvarez, maybe you want a Foden, that's pretty much it, right? You can have only a maximum of 3 players from Man City and Brentford leading up to game week 18 because you only have 3 outfield spots on your bench. Now, the next point is that you will be relying on your squad depth for blank game week 18 if you don't free hit. So the players that you have on your bench right now, players like Archer, players like Taylor, are players that you need to start in blank game week 18 to field a starting 11. So generally there's a reason why these players are quite cheap and they're always on our bench, and that's because they don't usually score a lot of points. So having to start them in blank game week 18 as part of our starting 11 may not be ideal as well. And lastly, there will be big teams playing each other in blank game week 18, specifically Liverpool and Arsenal. Now, both of them will be playing each other. So players like Salah, Saka, maybe you have an Arsenal defender as well. Some of you have Martinelli. These players will be playing each other, and those are tough fixtures for them. So all of a sudden, when you're looking at your blank game week 18 team, you have Salah playing Saka and your Arsenal defenders. You'll be playing Archer, you'll be playing Taylor in your starting 11. Maybe you don't really like that as well, and then you can explore a free hit strategy, which I will discuss later on. But these are the reasons why I don't like the no free hit strategy. But as I mentioned previously as well, there's loads of reasons why I do think this strategy could work. And let's now take a look at my team with my transfer plans that I've made all the way up till game week 18 and see how my game week 18 team potentially looks like without a free hit. So as I mentioned, it is completely possible to navigate blank game week 18 with just free transfers. So on the screen, you see my game week 18 team, and this is not a free hit draft. This is my team based on the transfers that I have planned all the way up till game week 18. And as you guys can see on the bench, I have Haaland, Mbeumo, and Alvarez because I do intend to get them into my team leading up to game week 18. I do plan to buy Mbeumo in game week 14 and Alvarez in game week 16. Haaland, I already have him in my team, and Turner is my bench for the keeper. So come blank game week 18, I'm likely to have that as my bench, and then I'll be starting everyone else in my team. So you take a look at what I can get to with a 5-4-1 formation here. I have Areola in goal, who plays Manchester United at home. Once again, not ideal, but if you are just navigating game week 18 without a free hit, you're not really hoping for excellent fixtures, you're just hoping to get by, and your red arrow hopefully isn't that big, and you go on with the next game week. So Manchester United at home may not be the worst fixture for Areola. In my defense, I have to play all 5 of them. So there's Livramento and Trippier, who both of them would be playing Luton away, so a decent fixture there. I have Gehi, who plays Brighton at home. I have Caldwell, who plays Wolves away, and Taylor, who plays Fulham away. So actually, on the balance of it, it's not too bad in terms of defensive fixtures for all 5 of my defenders. And then in midfield, it's Salah and Saka playing each other, as I mentioned. I will have Palmer as well playing Wolves away, and Bowen playing Manchester United at home. Up front, it's Solanke, Nottingham Forest away. So on the balance, when I look at this 5-4-1 formation, based on the plans that I've made up till game week 18, it does not look too bad at all, and is currently why I do like this strategy, because I have enough lead time, I can prepare for it, and this team actually does not look that bad at all, right? If I'm to compare to a free hit team, which I'll look at later on, maybe I'm missing a couple of Newcastle attackers, but I think that's pretty much it, right? So there we go with this game week 18 no free hit strategy. Let me know what you guys think about it, and let's move on to the free hit strategy and why I think that could work as well. So discussing the free hit strategy a little bit more in depth before we go into the free hit draft, there are a couple of good reasons why this could work, and of course it is that you can buy more Manchester City and Brentford assets leading up to Game Week 18. I did already say that I don't really foresee myself wanting more Manchester City and Brentford assets leading up to Game Week 18, but I do understand that the fixtures for them are really good. For Man City and Brentford, their fixtures actually turn really good in the next coming game weeks. From Game Week 14 onwards, Brentford, it looks really good. From Game Week 16 onwards, Man City's fixtures are absolutely insane. So those are when we will want to jump on them, and do bear in mind as well that they will be doubling in Game Week 20, at least based off of what Ben Crellin is saying. So if you are loaded up on these assets already, more Man City and more Brentford assets, you will be more prepared for double game week 20, which is when people would start to be loading up more on these assets, because obviously they want to be going for players who double, and that's when you already be more prepared and you can maybe deal with other issues in your team if you do have them, right? And of course, one of the big reasons why a free hit strategy is quite attractive to some people as well is that you can deal with the big teams playing each other. You can deal with Saka and your Arsenal defenders playing Liverpool. Maybe you can just keep Salah in your team. You can go without Arsenal players, and you can target the other good fixtures as well, which I'll touch on in the free hit draft later on. So loads of good reasons why this strategy could work, and I think beyond just the game week itself, game week 18 specifically, if you are on a free hit strategy, it does affect the transfers that you can make leading up to Game Week 18 and after Game Week 18 as well. So it's not just a comparison of your score from Game Week 18 itself, but also the scores in your other game weeks leading up to Game Week 18 and after Game Week 18. So this will be quite a crucial point in time where you have to decide which strategy you are on, and it will determine your transfers moving forward. And I'll be keen to know as well, right, how you guys come to a decision depending on what you are preferring right now. Right, so just to touch on why I don't really like this strategy before we go into the draft, this one is very obvious. It is the opportunity cost here. There will be bigger blank game weeks later on in the season. I did mention this already, but just to quote something from Ben Crellin again, the EFL Cup final is likely to cause 2 blank fixtures in Game Week 26. So this is already later on in the season, and Game Week 26 fixtures will definitely become blanks if either club reaches the EFL Cup final and if either club reaches the FA Cup 5th round, which is the midweek after the EFL Cup final. So just to simplify things, for Game Week 26, there will be blanks for 2 reasons: the EFL Cup final and the 5th round of the FA Cup. The EFL Cup final will lead to 2 blank fixtures, and the FA Cup fixtures will lead to even more blanks as well. So what this means to say is that the minimum of 2 blank fixtures in Game Week 26 is already the lowest. There will be potentially more, and is already a bigger blank game week than Game Week 18. So you see here that there will be an opportunity cost of not being able to use your free hit then, because you've already used your free hit now in Game Week 18. So definitely something to think about. I think on the grand scheme of things, it's hard to say right now which strategy will work, because in the future we won't know for sure who is blanking in Game Week 26. Maybe the teams that are blanking aren't the ones that were loaded up on then, and maybe we don't really need the free hit then. So it's hard to say, and that's why I'll be keen to know how you guys are navigating Game Week 18 as well. Let me know down in the comments. But let's now take a look at the free hit draft that I've put together for now for Blank Game Week 18. So for Game Week 18, I've put together this free hit team. The team value is really low. It's 99 million, so I think everyone should be able to afford this team, and it's not expensive at all. The formation is a 3-5-2, and of course the fixtures looking absolutely plumb for all these players here. So I have Leno in goal, who plays Burnley at home. It's likely going to be a clean sheet for him there. In the defense, there's Matty Cash, Trippier, and Reece James. All of them very attacking fullbacks playing for decent defenses, and the fixtures are great, right? Sheffield at home, Luton away, Wolves away. So awesome defense there. And then in midfield, there's Gordon, Salah, Son, Sterling, and Diaby. The only one with a tough fixture there is Mo Salah playing Arsenal at home, but even at Anfield, I think he can get something. For the other players, Gordon's playing Luton. I think there's definitely a fixture he can get something as well. Son is playing Everton at home. Depending on how Tottenham progress from now in Game Week 13 leading up until Game Week 18, Maybe we won't want Son by then, depending on how Tottenham are playing, but he is still a midfielder playing in a number 9 role, so maybe you still want him for game week 18. And then there's Sterling. Chelsea look like they are on an uptrend right now, and Sterling also looks really lively. He is more expensive than Cole Palmer, but with the funds that you have now at your disposal on a free hit, having Sterling against Wolves, I think is definitely one that he can profit there. And then Diaby is playing Sheffield at home. Sheffield, of course, a really, really poor defense, and Diaby, as we've seen, has a double-digit haul in him. Now up front is Isak, who has Luton away. Isak is currently now red flagged, but I think by game week 18 he should be back already, and we just saw that Wilson will be out for even longer. So come game week 18, I think Isak will be the one that's playing number 9, and of course against Luton I expect Newcastle to actually score loads of goals there. Isak, whenever he plays, he's always involved in the goals. And then of course, not to forget Ollie Watkins playing Sheffield at home. So on the bench, there's the Codemos first on the bench, Nottingham Forest, they will be playing Bournemouth at home. Pedro Porro, first outfield player on the bench, he plays Everton at home. And then I have Archer and Castagna on the bench as well. So on the whole, this free hit draft for game week 18 obviously looks so much stronger than the draft that I have based off of my own team using free transfers alone. So already you can see there is a disparity there, but obviously my points that I intend to make up will be later on in the season, because for a player or an FPL manager that decides to free hit in game week 18, you will be sacrificing those points later on as well, which is where I hope to make up those points if I decide not to use my free hit in blank game week 18. So let me know what you guys think of this video in general and of the strategy that you will be going for in blank game week 18. I'd be very interested to know and see how the split is like. I think there's no clear strategy as to whether which one is better, so I'm very interested to know what you guys are doing as well. Drop it in the comments below. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a like and also subscribe as well if you are new around here. Just before I go, once again I'm shouting out the charity drive, the Christmas charity drive that we're doing. With this signage above me here, I'm donating 20 pence per new subscriber from now to Christmas. All you have to do is subscribe if you aren't already, and I will be donating more to charity as well. So all for a good cause. Let me know down in the comments what you think, and I will be back for more Game Week 13 content.